Hey everybody, on Nette's Cow Emporium today, big surprise, we're doing milk again. I know you've seen this process a lot, so I brought in the 4 gallons, and here's the cream line on them, okay? But I want you to also notice, like, how much less milk these 2 jars have. And one of these days, I don't know which one, there was a thunderstorm which came through. Well, there's been several, but it was possibly one of the really bad ones. And then the other, she didn't want to come into 18, didn't want to go in the barn. She wanted to hang out with the boyfriend. So, the cows are not much different than we are sometimes. Instead of doing what we are supposed to do, they just want to do what they want to do. So she might have been a little bit obstinate or something that day. So anyway, I just thought I'd point that out. So what's happening with this milk today? Well, we're going to pasteurize it. And Glenn has been wanting to make some Goudas. He's talking about starting another bigger blue cheese. So I don't know. I'm going to pasteurize it before it gets too hot outside because it'll heat up the house, something terrible. And yeah, we'll just have to see what he does with it later. There you go.
You want to get some more for the cow?
Yeah, you betcha. How was that? Was that a little scary?
No.
Not at all? Good for you. You're brave. A big old bull. We don't really have a number for him or a name. We just call him 18's boyfriend.
Ah, that's cute. That's cute.
Come on over, 18. She's like, who is this strange little person?
There's a bigger bundle, Sally.
Oh.
Hold on,
Oh, the bull will take that too.
Oh, see, she wants to, but she's afraid to. Shall we maybe just walk over here, gentle? We tried. There it comes. Is your fence turned on?
Wow.
Your electric part?
This isn't, oh, that's just a deterrent for hawks and owls and stuff. Day 27 in the Cow Emporium kitchen. There's a lot going on. I'm gonna bottle the sauerkraut today, so I've sterilized these 2 jars, and I need to feed Francine, and I want to show you something interesting with her in a bit. And then, of course, we gotta clean the jars for the milk, and milk to pasteurize for drinking and for cheese. That's what's going on today. I am about to deal with Francine. Francine is not happy, so I forgot yesterday to discard half of that and feed it. So I'm going to do that today. I'm not too weirded out about what's going on in there. They will form a liquid like that when they're hungry. So I got my boiled water, and I'm going to use just white flour, and so I'm going to discard half of it and give it a good feed. So I'm going to go a little heavy on the flour this time. Not so much water. Maybe no water even. See if I can save Francine. Okay. So I'm pretty sure that I didn't do any harm there. You can see the texture that it is now. I didn't add any water, just flour. It smells pretty good actually. So I'm gonna find a clean jar and transfer Francine into a clean jar until the next step. So I'm going to transfer the sauerkraut from the jar into these 2 jars to go into the fridge. So let's take the lid off. Oh, it smells amazing. Okay, so as you can see in there, there was no floaters, there's no scum, there's no mold. So as far as I'm concerned, that is like the perfect batch of sauerkraut. I mean, not that a person should be afraid of the mold and scum, you can just skim it off the top as long as there's no cabbage floating to keep it from going bad. Okay, so I got this ready to go. This really does smell amazing. Check out that beautiful color. This is how much I ended up getting out of that 3-liter jar because it wasn't quite full. There's half a jar here, and of course I left out a couple to sample. I'm not going to process these further. They're just going to stay in these jars in the fridge. There's plenty of liquid in that jar. I wouldn't say, yeah, I'd say it's right up to the top actually. I can see it just move. So I'm going to put a date on these, though it's probably pointless. I'm going to say we should eat them within 6 months, but they're not going to last that long. So let's taste this. And yes, I'm hipster like that. I wear sunglasses in the house. That is probably the best sauerkraut that I've ever made. I think I said that last time. So delicious. Make your own sauerkraut. If you don't like sauerkraut, you should taste some of mine. It'll make you a believer.